The art of conversation. What is a conversation? Well, it's something that is two-way. A monologue is when someone speaks all the time and they don't stop. A dialogue is when there is two people speaking, say, and conversations often go wrong. But they can also go right. But if you want to test whether you can get on with someone, then one way is to have a telephone conversation with them, because that's quite different from a text or some type of message or an email. And when you're speaking with someone, say it's on a telephone, then it's a form of a dance. If you're dancing with a partner, you want to express yourself, and you want to be free. You want them to express themselves and be loose and relaxed, and you don't want to tread on the other's toes. So conversation, a telephone conversation, is a form of a dance, and there can be a beauty in it. What you want is to feel you're part of something. Now, there are functional conversations where you're just giving people information or saying, I'm going to appear at this point, or I'm here just now, I'm doing the shopping, I'm coming back. I'm not talking about that. What I'm speaking about here is how do you develop a rapport with someone when you're having a conversation. Now, what happens with people often when put under a little bit of pressure, they get nervous and they might speak too fast, or they might never stop speaking, chit-chattering away. Now, I've heard a lot of people over the years say, I'm a chatty person. And that word chatty, I tend to be wary of. If someone's chatty, or if someone says they're a chatterbox, this might be all good and fine, but does that mean they're a good conversationalist? Maybe it just means they're good at continually rapid fire speaking. But that's not a conversation. A conversation is an exchange. Therefore, you say something, the other person responds. You say something again, the other person modifies the response, and then you follow on from that. So you're continually adapting to what the other person is saying. Whereas you can get a conversation which isn't really a conversation because someone's just speaking, and it's a form of a download. They're speaking at you, and what they're doing is telling you lots of different things that they want to express, which is generally trivia, but it's one way. And you can get up from your seat, go away, and come back, and they might not have even noticed you're gone. Or you can get up from your seat, another person could take your place, and they would be getting the same information download. So what's important here is the person who's downloading the information being chatty isn't taking you into consideration. They're actually just speaking anyway for the sake of it, and they don't really care about what you think. What they care about is, can I express what I want to think? So that's not a conversation, and that will leave one person unfulfilled, frustrated, maybe even a bit annoyed. Now, I've heard many accounts of a woman going on a date and meeting some bloke, and they meet somewhere and decide they might want to get to know each other better, and then the report comes back that what happened, and they say what happened was the guy talked away non-stop about himself, carry on, just speaking, and it was very boring because he never stopped talking about himself. And then at the end of the apparent conversation, the man said, "I really enjoyed myself, I'd like to do this again." And the woman thinks, "Oh, but I wouldn't." So what we've got here is a man who's socially blind. He's not picking up the signals that he's boring the woman. Now we can get another situation where the woman is nervous and she chatters away. Rapid fire, speaking, chattering away. That's due to nervousness. And that's more forgivable, because then once you go over the nerves, things can get a bit more relaxed. But if someone is egocentric and insists on talking about themselves and kind of bragging about their achievements, they're not good company. So a conversation has a beauty about it, and it actually doesn't matter what you speak about. That's not really of any relevance. What matters is, are you sharing the time with someone else? And it's important. The concept of sharing is what it is. So it's not a platform for you to brag about yourself. And also, who wants to know all sorts of trivial information coming at them? What they want to know is how the person is really feeling about everything or anything. You don't want a report or a briefing. So conversation is very important, and it creates intimacy or closeness if done well. And if it is working, there's no natural limit to it. You can speak for hours with someone simply because it creates a shared reality where each person feels they're allowed to express their points and their point of view. If someone's speaking and then they pause to catch your breath, or they pause at the end of the point, you shouldn't jump in at your first opportunity. Always give it a few more seconds to allow the person to indicate that they've completed what they're about to say, and then a polite person will let you then say your piece. Now, if someone's speaking for quite a while and it becomes a monologue, that's okay, as long as it's important and the person's becoming animated. But if someone is forcefully speaking and just allowing you a little bit of comeback before they come back in with what they want to say, that's not a good sign. That means you're treading on someone's toes, you're falling over, you're tripping up. In a dance it wouldn't work. It doesn't work in a conversation either.